Dr. Sara Wasserbauer here, and here's the question. How do I make one of those customizable 3D printed face masks that you were talking about in a previous video? Well, here is everything you need to know on putting this face mask together from soup to nuts, from beginning to end, alpha to the omega. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna first go on one of these thing sharing sites, 3D printing thing sharing sites. This one is on Thingiverse, Thingiverse. This is the one that we used. It's Face Mask version 3.1. Now, depending on your particular 3D printer, you might need to make a couple of adjustments in order to get it to work with whatever 3D printer that you have. We have a Flash Forge that we used, but these are pretty ubiquitous. You should be able to find one that'll work pretty well. And so what you start with is this material called PLA. It's a spool. You're going to use the 1.7 millimeter filament. It's going to print about 2 masks per 49 meters of filament. Each spool is about 330 meters, so that's going to give you about 12 masks with their front plates, and this is what it looks like. I printed this front plate in a silver so that you can see that it's a separate piece that fits right on the front here. And in between these two, sandwiched in between these two, is any kind of material that you want with a number of micron filtering capability that you need. So we'll talk about this in a second, but this is the one that we used. Each spool is about 330 meters. You're gonna get about 12 masks out of each spool with a faceplate. Now there's something else that you need to print, and it is this little tiny clip. That clip ends up threading on all of this elastic, all right? So let's talk about the filter material. An N95 mask filters out 95% of the materials that you want it to. That's why it's N95. If you're looking for filter material, what you're gonna look for is something that has probably 3 microns or less. This filter material is actually autoclavable instrument wrap. It comes in a huge package. 24 sheets of 48 inches by 48 inch size for right around $200. So that is gonna give you about, from my calculations, about 256 masks per order. And that's gonna run you about 78 cents per mask. Now, a normal N95 mask is gonna have a 0.3 micron filter rate. This one has a 3 micron filter. You can get different filters online. Whatever mask you want. Here's another one that has a 2.5. This one comes with a very cute little kid's mask that you just kind of insert, but that's what you breathe through. Now remember, the smaller and the tighter the filter, the harder it is going to be breathing. So if you're one of our healthcare professionals who's trying to print an at-home mask so that you don't have to sterilize the paper one that they gave you at the hospital in between, remember, if you're going to be wearing this for 8 to 12 hours in a shift, the smaller the filter materials, the harder it is to breathe, okay? So you just got to make sure that you are figuring out the numbers and the amount of filtration that you need, the smallest size that you need, and balancing that with your comfort and your ability to do your job. So these kind of things are available online. They're pretty cheap. What's becoming more difficult to get a hold of is elastic. This is 1/2 inch elastic. We bought 40 yards for about $17. You're gonna end up using 26.5 inches for the upper and the lower. See, there's 2 elastics per mask. It'll allow you to adjust it. It's kind of like one of those airline masks. When you put it on, you pull the tabs and that kind of sucks the mask to your face. So that's gonna be the more difficult thing to find. The way that this mask is designed, this mask can actually fit a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch. And we also had some leftover elastic that was just kind of a rope lying around, and that'll work too. That's gonna run you about 70 cents a mask. And then the last thing, because these masks don't quite fit, here I'll show you. These masks don't quite fit perfectly on every face. Remember, every face is different. That makes total sense. If you put it on like this, and set it into place, you're gonna want this part here to be sealed. And the seal is created by window seal. What you're gonna want is rubber window seal We used a 1/4 inch high by 5/16 of an inch wide. That translates to 6.4 millimeters by 8 millimeters. And when you measure this out, it measures out to about 14.25 inches. The package costs about $7.38 for 17 feet. You're gonna have enough for about 14 masks, and it's gonna cost you about 52 cents per mask. So the grand total of all these 4 elements put together in one single mask is gonna be about $3.92 total. Now, what I want you to bear in mind is it takes a little while to print these masks. If you're gonna print 2 of the bottom ones kind of offset on your printer plate on your 3D printer, it'll be about a 14-hour print. The little face plates take a little bit less time, but if you need to just do one and you're gonna do it individually you can print this and the face plate here for about 8 hours. That's about how long it's gonna take you. These things are really rugged and they have been working pretty well. We've been assembling a bunch of them. I have stacks that we're gonna be sending off to all of our family and friends who are in the medical industry and who are on the front lines of this COVID-19. Hopefully you'll try this at home if you have a 3D printer. There's also places where you can actually send 3D print requests and then they ship it to you. So that would work out really well too. I hope that helps.